Ragnarok na naman? If you're a Filipino, one game that will always be on your mind from childhood all the way to adulthood is Ragnarok Online. Let's face it, it's a genuine constant of life, and like with death and taxes, Ragnarok will be here way longer than we will, and whether or not that's true, the fact remains that Ragnarok will keep reinventing itself, always coming out with a new version or otherwise. Time and time again, Enduins would get updates about the current state of Ragnarok Online and the new games to come out of it. So let's talk about some of the recent Ragnarok IPs and what they actually have to offer. Let's get the biggest nostalgia game out there right now and talk about Ragnarok Origin Classic. When it comes to video games or MMORPGs, everyone is about equal when it comes to the grind, but at the end of the day, pay to win beats pay to play. Ragnarok Online Classic is basically reimagined classic Ragnarok Online that tries to fix the one complaint players have had for years in the pay-to-win mechanics. Instead of gacha or stat-based spending, Classic has a monthly pass system which levels the playing field heavily and with familiar classics, classic maps, classes, and the signature Ragnarok charm. With modern UI and smoother progression, this is the Ragnarok game you should play if you want something balanced without totaling your credit card. The game doesn't feel like everyone's Ragnarok, but it has Ragnarok in the name, so it probably has porings and stuff, right? Kidding aside, the game is a definition of an actual mobile game ad turned into a game. It's a Vampire Survivors-like with Ragnarok elements, and while it's a far cry from the normal Ragnarok experience, it's still Ragnarok at the end of the day. It's not a grind, but a battle royale, which is the furthest you'd expect from a generic Ragnarok title. And if you want a game you could get in and out of without the need to grind, Endless Trails is where it's at. Assume you get lucky with your skills and roll at least. Ragnarok is a MMORPG, and while most of the time in the game is spent on the grind itself, the endgame is really where it's at, and that's where the Ragnarok shines. New servers, an instant jump to level 100, and faster access to late game content add in the biggest convenience gamers could ask for, especially if they don't have the time they once did as a child. If you're a Ragnarok player that doesn't care about the journey and only about the destination, prioritizing PvP, endgame builds, and guild content, and also have experience with Ragnarok, the Ragnarok is where you're going. Some people like old school PC Ragnarok, and others like the mobile Ragnarok experience, but nostalgia isn't enough at times for the classics to survive. So what if the nostalgic experience was modernized? Ragnarok Online World Journey does just that, without leaning too heavily into the past or future, but just asks, what if I just wanted Ragnarok that I could play and enjoy in 2026? We actually got to try this version of Ragnarok during Taipei Game Show, and all things considered, it was the best of both worlds, even letting you play a gunslinger from the get-go. But let's see how this turns out over time. What if we start from scratch with Ragnarok Online? Let's forgo the mobile experience and go hard on the original Ragnarok Online experience on PC, but rebalance the core game itself. Ragnarok Zero is the corrected version of Ragnarok Online, or the classic version, because it doesn't layer on and stack new systems on top, but fixes what it should have way back then. Reworked skills, adjusted progression curves, and a fair gameplay experience are promised, and while evolving gameplay is what other titles would promise, Ragnarok Zero shows the true evolution of classic RO mechanics. Out from the past and into the future, what if Ragnarok was an MMORPG made in the current generation that would fit in with the status quo? Open world design, seamless exploration, and cross-platform play. This is Ragnarok's newest form that fits in with the current gameplay landscape. And for all intents and purposes, it's pushing the boundary for what we know about Ragnarok Online. The game asks a big question, but could Ragnarok actually evolve, or is nostalgia all it has going for it? Ragnarok The New World asked this question while giving us a new experience, and we're pretty hyped for it. Ragnarok Online is the Filipino starter pack of gaming, including Mobile Legends and Dota, and nobody could ever deny that. At the rate it's going with the NFT versions, random rehashes, and right now classic retellings, this story will never get old, but like with every other intro boy out there, we'll still be trying them out all the same. Personally speaking, Zero and the New World are calling out to me, But let's see how the next few months go. Will you be trying out any other Ragnarok game? Do you think it will last for the next 60 years? Let us know in the comments below. For more content like this and other updates down the line, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.